Music's most celebrated giants is gone. Loretta Lynn, whose chart-topping career spanned 6 decades, has died, according to a family statement to the Associated Press. She was 90 years old.
When I was born to coal miner's daughter.
Loretta Lynn gave voice to America's working-class women, telling stories of economic struggles.
We were poor, but we had love.
Singing ballads about rocky marriages.
There's trouble in paradise.
Even recording songs about getting pregnant too often. Someone else Lynn gave voice to, the next generation of women artists in Nashville. According to Reba McEntire,
she paved the way for me and the other ladies who have come along in country music.
Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The Supreme Court's hearing arguments in an Alabama case today that mixes race and politics in a battle over redistricting. CBS's Jim Pursuit.
Justices are considering a lawsuit seeking to force Alabama to create a second black majority congressional district. Justice Elena Kagan.
You're looking at a state where there are 27% of the population is African American, but only 1 of 7 districts.
Alabama's Secretary of State says the only way to create 2 black districts is to rely solely on race.
The Hurricane Ian death toll now tops 100. Rescue teams are still fanned out in Florida, going through debris in the hunt for possible survivors. Pastor Robert Caston's church is trying to help people in Fort Myers find places to stay.
I'm guessing 25% of our people have lost their home. It's not like 3 or 4. There's a bunch of people. All of these parks around here, mostly, if not completely, underwater.
The FAA has moved to order more rest time between shifts for flight attendants, at least 10 hours instead of the current 9.
This started in the late 80s as flight attendants were identifying the problems with fatigue, the problems with not enough rest.
Sarah Nelson is president of the Association of Flight Attendants. The U.S. has condemned North Korea's latest missile test. CBS's Lucy Kraft is in Tokyo.
Japan's civil alert system blared during morning rush hour, urging residents to seek shelter as Pyongyang's ballistic missile flew over northern Japan for about 1 minute, traveling about 3,000 miles before landing in the Pacific Ocean.
And checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 743 points. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Order a grilled spicy deluxe sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app. It's spicy and full of flavor. Available for a limited time.
This is KNX News, 97.1 FM.
The people you know.
The voices you trust.
8:03 on this Tuesday morning. Good morning, I'm Chris Seatons.
And I'm Vicki Moore, and this black sedan, this BMW that's been involved in this chase. And he's driving on a rim, still going live overhead. Our eye in the sky. Scott, tell us where you are and then what you know.
Yeah, this is going to be the southbound 5 through the Commerce area, and once this person got onto that freeway, it got pretty tough here, and as you mentioned, Becky, he ended up clipping another car, spinning about. This person's been driving super erratic, at times well over 100 miles an hour. Saw him use the right shoulder, the center divider. Again, we're southbound 5 in the Commerce area right now. It's going to be around Washington Boulevard. Multiple aircraft overhead here, including the Sheriff's Department. I do believe the Sheriff helicopter left this, who are following this pursuit. But we've been all over the place. This is out of Walnut, a burglary suspect, a residential burglary suspect. We were on the 210, on the 10, the 605, and all the way over here into East LA. And now we're southbound 5 through the Commerce area. Again, a high-speed chase, very erratic driver, definitely a dangerous situation here. So extra caution required if you're southbound or northbound for that matter on the 5.
Yeah, Scott, Chris here. We did see police ground units backing off at a certain point. Are they back on his tail again close?
It kind of appears they're kind of back and forth with that. As of the last, I'd say 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes, they seem to be primarily following this person with a helicopter. Actually a fixed wing as well, CHP fixed wing.
Okay.
Right on a rim, too. Lost one tire, so I think it's that front right just going and going. So we're tracking it for you. More coming up. We're going to talk about this moratorium on evictions, how much longer it might last in the city of Los Angeles. Live report standing by. It's 8:05.
Back to the freeways now. Your traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5. Jennifer.
So let's just say that I'm going to bring Scotty back in, but Scotty, southbound 5 is really, really heavy. But once he gets down to the 605, it's going to open up. He's in the right lane going about 30, 35 miles an hour. He can't get any further. And Have you seen anything more from him?
At this point, no, but as you mentioned, Jenny, it should open up here once we get past the 605. But one thing with this person is they don't really care if the freeway is jammed or not because they're just going to the right liner. So this is very, very dangerous. Looks like we're going to be on the 5 now around Avenue, coming up on the Rio Hondo River there, Paramount Boulevard, Lakewood Boulevard. So if you're southbound, use extra caution, even if you're northbound. We've seen this person flip around, exit the freeway, and get back on an opposite direction here. So again, 5 through the Downey Commerce area right now, extra caution required.
All right, now the northbound 5 is very heavy this morning from Norwalk heading all the way up into East LA. And again, this car is going southbound. I've only seen him hit one, but he didn't. He spun that guy around. It was right around Washington Boulevard. So unfair if you're driving on this freeway. Like I said, a lot of people have got kids and they're going to school right now. They got animals in the car. It's just a terrible situation. And he's still driving on the right. We're going about 50 miles an hour now, heading south on the 5. He's about to come up to the 605. Westbound 60, really heavy this morning from Azusa heading over to the 605. We've also had a crash on the eastbound 60 around Azusa. That's why you have a backup to 7th. Westbound 10 is tough from Azusa over towards the 605. The westbound 210, that's just a loaded drive. Nothing in lanes. It's just very heavy getting away from the 57, heading all the way into downtown Pasadena. By the way, the westbound 10, there was a 7-car crash out in Vineyard a long time ago in Ontario. But it never really recovered. It's very heavy this morning, that westbound San Bernardino from the 15 heading all the way into Pomona. We had an earlier stall on the West 101 heading through Encino at White Oak, and that's jammed up everything on that West 101 from the 170 split. Eastbound side of the 101 heavy from Woodland Hills all the way over to the 170 split. Next report, 8:15 for the Puente Hills Sunday 24-hour traffic center.
Mostly sunny today, 80s in the beaches and inland areas, mid-90s in the valleys, overnight lows mostly in the city. Right now, we've got 63 degrees, clear skies downtown LA at 8:07.
All right, let's talk about the moratorium on evictions in the city of Los Angeles. There's been a lot of back and forth about when to end it and whether to end it, and they're going to be talking about it again today at City Hall, so let's get the latest live from our John Baird.
Well, landlords are just fed up with the law. A tenants' right group, though, is holding a news conference right now here at City Hall ahead of the City Council meeting. They basically say it's too early, but the landlords are saying they're frustrated and angry and that some tenants have failed to pay rent since the start of the pandemic, or at least for a number of months, and it's crushing them.
You can imagine my son is now 18 days into the foreclosure process because my tenant has not paid his rent in 8 months.
And yet some of the tenants and their advocacy groups believe people are in fact still suffering the effects of the pandemic, and pulling the plug now and allowing landlords to evict people again will leave a lot of renters in limbo.
I also want to thank the landlords that buying a duplex investment is not a house, and to get a real job to our local landlords.
Some landlords say they can't even move back into their own homes because of the renter protection rules, and they're stuck too. Chris and Vicky, the landlords, also believe that current conditions are a lot different from those at the start of the pandemic, and that renters should no longer be allowed to use COVID-19 as an excuse not to pay rent.
All right, John, thank you. 8:08 now on KNX. Homeless woman has died after she was accidentally run over. This happened while she was sleeping in a pile of boxes in the parking lot of a Vaughn's grocery store in Echo Park. Happened early this morning at the location at Alvarado Boulevard and Montana Avenue. The big rig drove into the lot to make a U-turn. Happened about 1 a.m. this morning. LAPD Detective Juan Campos tells CBS 2 the driver was really shaken up and had tried to.
My perception is that the truck driver was in a state of shock. He obviously had no intent, didn't wake up today to kill anybody. It's an unfortunate accident. It's bad circumstances. He does feel bad.
The woman pronounced dead at the scene, and the incident is not being investigated as a criminal case.
Well, still being investigated as a criminal case, the hack on LA Unified.
Cyber thieves did not get access to any current student or employee's personal information or payroll data. That's according to Superintendent Alberto Carvalho. But they did get school records of former students.
By and large, restricted to a time period between 2013 and 2016, without any, so far based on what we've seen, critical health information. Security numbers for students.
Carvalho said the bulk of the documents were taken from the facility server.
Some personally identifiable information, mainly pertaining to contractors and episodic part-time employees within the facilities arena.
He said investigators have finished going through about 2/3 of the documents posted on the dark web.